Wednesday night, 9 p.m. It's another edition of the Superstars podcast, and I am bringing you electricity tonight. You guys, I'm telling you, I drank my Kool-Aid before we got on this show. I knew we were going to drop a ton of fire tonight, and I want to welcome to the stage Mr. Javier Nichols. He is an agent with it's EXP, right, Jav?
Yeah. It's
EXP Real Estate. However, we're going to probably spend the majority of the time talking about the new agent handbook. So welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. And I'm really excited because, I mean, the intro was next level, number one. Shout out to your team. Because that was like, I was getting pumped up. Like, I'm at a 20 like, brother, you know what I mean? Like, it's real good. So, number one, thank you very much for allowing me to pull up on you guys. And, yeah man, we're going to turn the heat up. So, I'm excited.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about, and for people that have watched this show before, they know that I start in the back. I always peel back the layers, and the goal is always to find out, you know, you're high level, everyone's high level. That's why we're superstars. We crush what we do. It's something we do on a daily basis. We are equally people of passion and conviction, and that's why you and I align on a lot of things. But I want to get back. I want to get to the roots. I got to find out, where did all this conviction and passion come from? Man. So tell me where you're from, dude. Where was Baby Hav born? Where'd you grow up? Give me the family life. Give it all to me.
This is a real story. I like. All right, cool. Let's start from the beginning. All right.
Yeah.
So I was born in Trenton, New Jersey. Okay. Number one, I came over to Pennsylvania right around like 12-ish, 13-ish.
And before you drop any more, Jay, is this on his Facebook? I want to make sure that your people are getting it.
Please.
Jason, hit me up in the chat, please. Make sure that you're getting it. I mean, we should double check before we start spitting the fire. Hold on.
Nah, it's all good. And this is crazy because going back to the beginning is actually really cool because I haven't had a chance to go through all of it, and I can't wait because
we're gonna.
Oh man, it's going down. All right, we cool. Right.
Nah, go on Facebook on your phone.
Okay.
I don't know where the hell Jason, where did you go?
No, I can see it right now on your page.
Yeah, share it.
And I'm sharing it right now.
There you go.
I got it. We all good. We rocking and rolling. We good.
Right, let me reset. Right. So Baby Hav, go throw it on Trenton, New Jersey.
Trenton, New Jersey. Stand up. Trenton, stand up. Right? We here. So Trenton, New Jersey. Came over to Pennsylvania right around like 12, 13. And I was in Marsville School District for quite some time. And
what's that? Marsville is what's the mascot?
Bulldogs.
Yeah, so I went to Lower Moreland. We played football against you guys.
Nice. Yeah, we had a good football squad. I played a little bit, not too much in my earlier years.
Yeah,
but yeah. So, you know, one of the cool things about growing up once I came over to Marsville is I had a paper route, which I thought was pretty cool. I wanted to put that out there for the people, right? Paper
route.
Dude,
you're young. How old? What do you mean? How old are you?
I'm 35.
Dude, you're young for paper route. Paper route's like yeah, man.
Paper route was like, but I feel like that was one of the first moments for me personally to really see business in an operated sense, right? Because you had to go into people's houses, you got to collect money, you got to write it down, you got to, you know what I mean? So like, I'm giving you that like migration, you know, how we started. So yeah.
What paper were you slinging?
Probably was the Inquirer, I believe. So I was in Marsville, so it didn't really matter.
All right, so you weren't doing like the TMZ stuff, like
what? That would have been awesome. Extra payday for the grind.
So tell me about the before. So you already jumped 12 years, bro. Like, tell me about like, you know, you have siblings, mom and dad.
Yeah. I'll lay it out for you. So mom and dad, of course, we grew up, right? I have an older brother and I have a younger sister. Okay. And growing up, I was the problem child. You know, hence how I got, I was the problem child, man. I was outrageous. I needed a lot of recalibration. So I went through a lot of trials and tribulations as a young kid.
Do you remember that far back? Do you remember that far back?
Of course I do.
Yeah, can you tell? I have a hard time tapping in there. Maybe I was boring. I can't tap that far. Every time some people have the most lucid memories, and they can go back to like 7 and 8, and I'm like, how? I don't remember that.
I can't go back like I can go back in a certain. So here's what's cool about like memories.
Yeah,
it's like a sound or a song or smell.
Yeah,
like,
sensory.
Like you remember cigar colognes that came in a cigar silo? You remember those?
Yeah.
So if you would spray that, I could probably tell you precisely where I was when I first smelled it because it was that iconic. And as you know, with the cigar silo as being a cologne anyway. So
all right, so you were the bad boy. What did mom and dad do?
So my mom worked in she worked in a hospital, Capital Health, and my dad, you know, was he worked in like a manufacturing facility, Keystone. It was you know, odd jobs. It was mainly in you know, trucking or steel. It wasn't anything that was long, but that's what I remember back then.
Okay, were you guys close knit, like holidays big, all that stuff?
When I say close knit, yeah, mom and dad worked a lot. Of course, so holidays were definitely spent with the, you know, with my siblings because they worked. You know, we were definitely not on the end of having money. So having and that's really what gave me a lot of my drive once I did find real estate. Fast forward into that time frame, because really understanding how much time my mom worked to provide for us.
You can shout out the lower thirds, by the way.
Yo, Bruno, what's going on, baby? What's up? Put the comments in here. Y'all gotta throw some stuff at it. You know what I mean? What's up?
People start going nuts. You're mid-sentence and I'm yelling it out for you.
Nah, man. Superstar podcast. We ain't here to play no games. We here for an hour. Y'all put some more stuff in the comments. Give us some shout out. Feel me?
All right, so you're pretty much the siblings are tight. Mom and dad are out working a lot, right? You probably took advantage of mom and dad not being home a lot, which I understand. Most kids.
I was a wild kid, and it wasn't I was bad. It was more or less I was like exploratory. You know, I like to go out, and we actually had. So when we came over to Marsville, and this apartment complex still is up today, Towpath Apartments, right? And it was right against the canal. So the canal is where like I've learned how to fish. You know, we would run across the canal when it's frozen. I would get in the water, not knowing there was a ton of leeches in there. So that would be an experience. Oh yeah. The canal is nature. You got to get. You ever had a leech on your back and you didn't know?
Nah, bro. That's Rambo right there. You remember Rambo?
Yeah, Rambo.
You remember those leeches? You remember the leeches in Rambo's?
Yeah. But you know what? Fast forward, they're therapeutic, man. They help you.
Hell no. Yeah, that's crazy.
No, they are. Leeches are therapeutic.
Listen,
man.
I'm gonna tell you something. Leeches in that canal are not therapeutic.
That's a fact. The catfish is well, right? Damn leeches. But again, being out and having that, you know, and we're right across from the Delaware River as well, so we can go up and just kind of exploring outside. To me, I'm so happy that I grew up in an outside community where like riding bikes and going to your friend's house, and a lot of our friends had a couple of dollars, so they had swimming pools and games and all kinds of stuff that we didn't have. So of course, I'm trying to explore. You know what I mean?
Barnett, what up, brother?
What's good?
So all right, so you're an outdoorsman. You're a Huckleberry Finn. All right, I got you. I know what you're doing out there. All right. Yeah. So what? Take yourself back to that mindset, right? Yeah. Do you think is there any maturation, or are you just like, you know what can I get away with? Like, where do you think you're at your head at that time?
Well, I would have to say, like, if I'm talking about like what I can get away with, I can't get away with anything. Moms were super strict. I gotta tell you.
Okay. Religious? Was she religious?
No, not really like heavily religious. I mean, we went to church occasionally, but it wasn't like, you know, your video went out a little bit. I don't know if that's on purpose or what, but just want to give you a heads up. And we lost you for a second. All right, we're gonna run this show.
Give me a sec. Well, I'm sure he'll be back in a second.
No, we're gonna let y'all. And by the way, I want everybody to go in the comments and put like some questions in there. Whatever questions y'all have, take full advantage of this. I'm letting you know right now, right? Mom Dukes was on it. She wasn't playing no games. For real. Put the questions in there. I want to hear some questions from our folks out there. All right. Don't be scared neither.
Oh, I'm crashing. It says the version of my Chrome has a bug that's causing virtual backgrounds and touch-up filters to crash. Well, we're gonna see.
Somebody got an update tonight.
All right. So anyway, after the crash of there, so not that religious. Mom was just strict. Why was mom so strict?
Well, because outside was dangerous. Right. Because you gotta realize this is something that we gotta keep in mind. Right. Number one, I'm moving from Trenton, which is 6 square miles of just straight up. I don't want to say craziness because I love Trenton, but it has a lot of opportunities for you to get in trouble and find yourself in the system or dead. Right. And Marsville wasn't that same element, but it was getting that way slowly. I'm not saying it was bad, but it was a lot of people who migrated from Trenton to Marsville to find a better way, especially families, right? Going outside, you almost, ideally, especially for my community, we celebrated a certain culture that was not advantageous for our survival. Let's just put it that way, right? So mom was always on it, making sure that we were following our, the right path. But for me, of course, I like being around people. I'm a people person. And here's a fun fact, by the way. When I was younger, up until about I think maybe 14, I had an extreme speech impediment. Fun fact, right? Extreme, really bad. So it took me some time. So confidence level I was still confident in my abilities to, make a person laugh or speak, but getting nervous definitely brought on, the speech impediment. That really wasn't, I got picked on a lot, but back in the day, we were able to joke back and forth without a person getting too, you know what I mean? So my joking game had to step up. So it was a
defense mechanism. It was a defense mechanism. I get it. No, I get it. Garnett, I got that. That's a good question, Garnett. I'm gonna bring that up at the right moment.
All right.
You dropped the hot one down there.
Keep dropping questions, y'all.
Yeah.
We're here for hours, so let's make use of it.
I will say for the people that have not been to Trenton makes the world takes is a big sign on the bridge, right?
Yeah, you know what it's for?
Well, I thought it was industrial related, but maybe you tell me.
Bread. Bread.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. All right. How did you get to the point you are now with that speech impediment? Well,
oh man, that's a great question. I'm telling you right now, one of the things that I love about our linguistic training that we do now is so important. But back then, I had to understand something. Number one, I had a speech impediment. So I had to go. We had a therapist that would come in and pull me out of class every day and spend time. And I don't remember her name, but I remember the room we were in. It was like a small little room. We would always go in there and read a book and stuff like that. And I would, go over, whatever words I have trouble with. And it was just an ongoing working experience. But a lot of it had to do with the girls. I mean, I wanted to be able to speak to the ladies. So I figured out a way and it worked. You know what I mean? So I was definitely
motivation, bro. Motivation. Motivation.
So that's it. That's what I did.
All right. So you're coming along. You know, things are progressing in life. Now, get me into your adolescence. What big anything cool happened there? Were you an athlete? Were you into music? Was there a life-changing event? Anything big?
Oh, man. So the teenage years. My teenage years was pretty amazing. Yeah. I mean, I laugh to say pretty amazing. So Marsville, super cool. Had a good time. Again, I was a rough kid. So occasionally I would get into a tussle now and again. One of those tussles landed me in a situation where I had to move in with my aunt. And that's where I got introduced to Pennsbury High School, 2006 graduate. All right. But I'm going to let you know something here. Okay. That is very important is that growing up in a certain culture, my culture, the culture that I represent, we like to celebrate things that are not advantageous to our survival, but also to our progression through life and
give me an example, dude. Like this is, by the way, this is what I like about these shows because I don't care. Let's get I'm white, you're black. Tell me what you're talking about. Break it down.
All right. No, listen, let's dive into it. So yeah, absolutely. So one of the things about it is for me, getting out. So what we idolize in my community as a youth, we idolize people with money. A lot of people from our community that have money were either street pharmacists or individuals that were athletes in that kind of a way. So for me, being around that element, I felt for us, you got to realize growing up Black, okay, since we're out on that, I'm glad you brought it up. Growing up Black, you realize that certain privileges are not given onto you. You just feel this way. You're in a world that, of course, they're not dramatically racist as back in the day, because clearly that was a different time,
sure.
Right? But this time is a situation where it's systematically where you feel, and again, this is about inner feelings, that certain privileges and certain things you just won't get because of
no one can take away how you feel, by the way. Like, it doesn't
100%.
matter. Forget opinions. It's
correct.
What you feel.
It's how you feel. Like, we would think that having money was something that it was a white thing, like having money and having, you know what I mean? Like, so for us, we like, in our minds, we box ourselves out and say, okay, cool. How can we still get there within our own community? Now, a lot of times that was, like I said, you're talking street pharmacy, you're talking, you know, a lot of other gang activity, you're talking some real serious shit, right? So we have this available. It's on a platter. It's ready for you. It's like, yo, this is for you. Like, we prepared this plate for you.
How accessible was that to you?
Oh, it was right in my face on an everyday basis as a child. You know what I mean? But that was because I put myself in those positions. Right. I wanted to be amongst individuals because in my culture, if you're not confident, if you're not within the realm of the cool kids, then you face the wrath of those cool kids. Now, again, when I say wrath, we're not talking any abuse. We're talking, you know, just you're not a cool kid. That's just the fact. And I was never a person that wanted to be a cool kid. I always wanted to have my own little crew, my own little thing. But at the same time, again, we're going back to the women. We're finding out what they're finding to be attractive, and we're trying to, you know, emulate that. So it's you know, it ties in hand. And remember, we don't have the large hopes and dreams in the college and the trust funds and the families that have money. We don't have that. We have each other, and we have struggle, and we have everyday survival, and we also have to keep ourselves within the confines of our community, or we find ourselves in the back of a patrol car. And these are all facts. Now, for me, I would never, ever lock into the perspective of a victim. That's something that I never, ever liked. I don't respect. I hold my own people accountable when I'm around them. That's why I still go back to my communities. I'm still in those same positions, talking to those same people, some of which grew up with me, and they know who I was, and they know who I am today, and I still get that same respect because they understand that this could have ended a different way. Right.
And you know what? You know why I like we're talking about this?
Yeah.
The reason I like it is because it's so. this is why I love this show. I get people to walk in. Yo,
you're going in there too, though. Like, whoa!
No, I get there, but see, this is what drove you to where you are now.
You ain't even get to the good stuff yet.
No, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I'm trying to tell you, man. This is
I'm gonna let you go. I'm pointing out for the purposes of the reels and the post edits.
Oh, nice. This is good. This is good. So you're going to pull the whole bio card. This is supposed to be in my political career, Chad. Not supposed to be in my real estate career. This whole background I'm giving you, I'm saving that for my campaign.
But to keep it real, you could have easily gone down that path.
Correct.
It was in your face, right?
Yeah. But I had some blemishes. Don't get it twisted. I had some blemishes.
That's fine.
In my past, I had some blemishes where, you know, I was out there with it. But again, we held our own and we made sure of it. But we were always, and I want to give you something here, which is very important, is that within these elements, within this chaos, which I call organized chaos, and we lost you again, I see here for a second, but don't worry, we're gonna keep rocking. And actually, I'm gonna wait until you can give me some commentary on this. And real quick, for those of you who are watching this is another little like a commercial. I love this, right? Put some questions in the chat. I see them popping up, but I'm sure they're going to tell me those questions later. So throw them in the chat because y'all getting some real deep information and I ain't going to hold back. You feel me? Who was the first person that inspired this version of you? Right now, this version? Oh, man. The first person? Man, that's a heavy one. That's a real heavy one. Damn. That's a deep question, bro. It's difficult. It's really difficult. It's like a combination of people, though. Like I would have to say it's a combination of people, like literally, because I can't just put it on one person. You know what I mean? So I would have to go through a combination of people. But wow, that's a heavy question right there. I like that question. And make sure y'all, yeah, man. Thank you so much for the love. It's you know, hey, all of this, by the way, what you're hearing here is gonna come out when we do our political run. You feel me? That's the goal. So y'all can see the real me and understand that we put in the work, right? It's very important for us to keep that in mind. And y'all gonna see it when I come out with a whole little docu-series. You know, I'm not a person that likes talking about myself at all. Y'all will know that. It may not seem it, but I don't. But Y'all getting here. Chad brought it out.
Dude, my damn Chrome, man. I came in through Edge this time. I don't know.
It's all good. Nah, baby. It's cool, man. We here. We are here tonight. We're going to get it done.
Well, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here regardless.
For real.
So, all right. So let's get to some sexy stuff. All right.
Yeah, lay it on me.
Talk to me. So we get through the adolescence. Yep. You graduate.
No. Pull back before I graduate. Right.
All
right. Well, I got to let you know. All right. When I got it, remember, I come from a certain culture. Okay. And I'm real in my culture. I'm authentic in my culture. I don't hide it. Okay. I don't stop. You know what I mean? Like I'm 100% there. So when I go into Pennsbury School District, Pennsbury High School, to be particular, we had a small fraction of Black kids in that school. Yeah. The largest, when I say small fraction, 2006 was the largest from that time graduate class of African Americans in Pennsbury history, I believe. I believe it was in history, but I know it was within the last 10 years because I was excited about that part. But bringing this culture into Pennsbury gave me some sort of, I don't know, special sauce. Let's just put it that way, right? Because a lot of people from those communities only see the stuff that I live every day on the television. So for me, I was, and I had braids. I had cornrows. I'm gonna post a picture on my Facebook of y'all old school Hobbs, right? So I came into Pennsbury, definitely had a great time. Got introduced to chess for the first time ever in my life. Got introduced to track and field. I used to do shot put when I was a kid at Pennsbury. Look me up. And then I got into more or less of understanding, like, I don't want to say politics, but it kind of gave me a little like some insights of the political realm. And then, but I still had one foot in the lifestyle that Pennsbury offered me, and still had one foot into the lifestyle that I was used to, and I was used to, pretty much thriving in. But I ended up having a kid in 12th grade. My son actually graduates in June. He's actually a couple of rooms down that way. He graduates in June from the Chamonix. So I had a kid in 12th grade, and no one knew from my school because I was living a double life basically. Pennsbury, I was like having a good time, taking people. Here's a fun fact, and if anybody's watching this that remember these moments, keep it in your mind, remember. But we used to take trips to Trenton and actually go into areas that had somewhat activity so they can see what real life looked like in the hood. And I used to love those trips. And I used to get like off on the fact that I was showing people a way that I lived that was so like edgy that never really seen it. So it actually increased my credibility within Pennsbury. So it was just a fun thing. So yeah, we can get out of high school now. I just wanted to add that in because I felt like, to me, when I say my teenage years was the shit, is because it was like, you come from outer space to some of these people.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I mean, did you feel like the Fresh Prince?
I didn't feel like the Fresh Prince. My cousin did. My cousin Dante Vio, y'all can look him up. He was a star football player in Pennsbury. He was the Fresh Prince. For me, I was more like, I don't know if Fresh Prince had a cousin that was like super hardcore, but still loving the ladies. I was him. You know what I mean?
I wasn't Carlton. You're a little Carlton right now, Brian.
I was a little. Hey, I'm clean, baby. Garnett. Shout out to my boy. You feel me? Everywhere I see my boy, he looking good. We got to make this look good. And I'm telling you right now, Chad, one of the most important things for me is when I go to my communities and I pull out and I'm looking crispy like this on a regular basis, that I get more compliments from people from my community than anybody else. Why? Because they don't, and remember, growing up, we never idolized individuals like myself. A real estate agent being idolized in the hood, that's never happened. Yeah. It's happening now, but it never happened when I grew up. So for me, going back and showing them like, yo, you can do this. You can change your life. You don't have to go to prison. You don't have to be out here putting yourself on the line and getting killed. You can get into this real estate game. And most of our family members are renting anyway. So
that's a good point. That's a good point, man. I didn't even think of that. Interesting.
I love the hood, man. I would never leave it.
No, listen. The fact that where your mind's at now has become so sharp, and that's kind of what I want to get into, the evolution of your thought process and what made you who you are. And that we got to get there because Garnett still has a question that's looming that I haven't pulled out yet. Okay. And I'm gonna pull it out. So All right, so we're out. We're getting out of adolescence. We graduate. Now what?
Graduate.
Now what?
We go to 13th grade. We go to Bucks County Community College, associate's degree. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Remember, I just had a kid.
Tell you what, that's a nice campus, by the way.
Oh, yo, Bucks County Newtown campus changed my whole perspective. I really thought community college was lame. I'm like, man, but then when I got in there and I realized this used to be an old house, and then I started to explore. I found Frisbee. I mean, I didn't play myself, but people played Frisbee as a real sport.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all got luxuries that I never even thought of before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you from my neighborhood, everybody playing Frisbee for sure. But yet we up here in Newtown throwing the Frisbee and catching it all crazy. I'm like, this is great. So Newtown campus was real nice. But Bucks County Community College was nice. For me, I got into, once I finished that, I studied business administration. And before I graduated, I got a job with Home Depot selling kitchen cabinets. And that kind of kicked off my selling career in a small way, not in a major way, but in a small way. So once I graduated,
why'd you go? So what were you, from a family perspective? Were you the only one going to college? Is that a big deal? Like,
no, my brother went. My brother went to Dell State. It was a big deal for me. I wanted to go to a 4-year university, but I felt like going to a 4-year university, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now because of, I had a kid at that time, and you got to remember, growing up. Now, what I gave you earlier when you said mom and dad, that was my stepdad in those instances. So growing up in my communities, like not having a father present is a big problem. Now, we hear it as a stereotype, but for me, that's a deep-rooted thing. So I wanted to make sure that I was everything that my father, my biological father, was not to my child. So for me, not going to a 4-year university was more or less of saying, hey, I'm choosing this lifestyle here. And I doubled down, tripled down on it, which, led me to getting full custody of him about the 2nd year of his life, which, clearly he's still here now. But that typically doesn't happen. I mean, it took me years to convince a judge that this is the right move. But
so was that the big growing up moment for you?
Nah, the growing up moment for me was like 13, 14, Chad. I got to realize, man, like, being amongst people who are a lot older than you and having to grow up fast. I had a childhood, but for me as a man, what I thought was a man, remember, what you think is a man is not really a man until you run into some real manly problems. But for me, as a young kid, I looked at myself very maturely, and I was very mature for my age. So that wasn't like a thought. It wasn't like, oh man, I gotta be a man now. Like, no, I was already there.
But you have an innate ability to almost to get inside your mind and understand your surroundings and how to acclimate, right?
Yeah.
So was that survival, or is that taught?
Survival, man. Okay. You gotta be. We call it the power of observation. I use that now in my trainings. POO. You gotta have it, man, because if you don't, you can die. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's even a more fact now. I mean, we got. Again, I'm licensed to carry in Pennsylvania. Okay, so you got to realize that you have to keep in mind that when I enter into my own communities, I got to be mindful of who I'm around. Why? Because there could be somebody that's not getting where they need to go, and they look at me as a person that has something that they want to take because they don't have it. They don't want to harm me because of me. They want to harm me because they're hurt. But then I also got to watch myself when I'm in other communities, because they may be watching something on television that tells them that they need to harm me to rectify some wrong in the world. So I have to watch both fronts, which is very difficult because you got to use your power of observation anywhere you go. I don't care if you're in a $1 million neighborhood or you in the slums of whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, because you got to be careful.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I'm trying to understand.
Hard work, Chad. I'm trying to tell you.
No, but it's interesting, and you got to realize too, man. Like, you found your voice, you found your swag. Yeah, it takes a while to gain that confidence. You had a speech impediment. A lot of shit was against you growing up. Yeah, I mean, this was all you self-learned. No one mentor, no nothing.
So when you say self-learned, you got to realize that I'm learning from everybody around me. So not only did I learn,
no one's putting their arm around you and saying this is what you should be doing.
No, I mean, the people that put their arm around me early on in the game was people like my old heads out in the street, but they were some real big street pharmacists that really had it all. They had the Mercedes, the BMWs, you name it, they had it. So again, they put their arm around me in the fact that, hey, you can be somebody, but in the sense of me learning from different walks of life. Because I met my wife when I was 19, right? Yeah. And again, she's my wife now, but she's my girlfriend at 19, and we're still together. We just celebrated our 16-year anniversary. But me and her, oh, there you go. You went blackout on me again, Chad. Come on, baby. You got to get that upgrade. Don't worry. But by the way, y'all keep putting those questions in the chat. Throw them questions in there. All right. This is a little commercial break right now. We're going to be here for a whole hour. So if y'all got any questions, y'all want to throw some stuff at me, make sure y'all put it in the chat. Because I want y'all to feel like y'all on the couch with me. You know what I'm saying? For real. We out here with it. You know what I mean? Chad with the what? You know what it is? He got to update his browser. That's what it is. But, don't worry about it. I told y'all we're going to make this an historical podcast. So this has probably never happened to him before. And I'm sure he's like, what is going on? But don't worry. That's because we're here. So, by the way, make sure y'all pull up.
That was a good impression of him. I'm sure that's exactly what he's doing.
Exactly what he's doing. I'm going to also use this time to let all y'all know to pull up to our role play every single morning in Clubhouse. It's 100% free. And let's join that linguistic training room and get you right. Because if you can't have a good conversation and convey your value with your clients in a short time, boom. Y'all better, hey, springtime is coming. And for those of y'all that's local, the deadline for that Taper Oak property is tomorrow at 5 p.m., 150. Y'all already know it's going over 200. I'm not the listing agent at all. If I was, I wouldn't have put it at, I would probably put it lower than 150 just to really mess with y'all. But I think that 150 was a nice move. I got to let y'all know.
Yeah, I'm not going to take over because I'm the superstar technician, not the superstar lender.
He's gonna be like, now he went to the phone now. I love it. Look at this. Nothing is stopping Chad tonight. That's what I like to see.
Dude, I'm pissed right now.
You know what? I said that. This is historical right here. We in here. We putting too much flame. You know what I mean? You pulling pissed. It out.
I'm
messing
pissed,
the frequencies up.
But I can't stop the flow. So all right.
I'm in it, man. I'm in it. I appreciate your adaptability right here. Chad, this is why you're the superstar, man.
And I'm still serious. Listen, the content's still gonna be good. So.
Right, but I wanna keep this. I wanna just put a little bit of pin in this moment right here. Number one, for those agents out there that shoot content, that does things, and when things don't go your way, all right. Still continue pressing forward, right? He went from one browser to the next browser to his phone, and he's still positive and still pushing through. I'm letting y'all know when y'all do Zooms or your connectivity is bad and you feel like you really got to just throw in the towel, don't. I'm just saying, like, clearly, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to point that out because you're showcasing why you are the superstar lender.
I mean, at this point, next time it happens, I'm driving over, bro.
I got some pizza downstairs for you too, bro. It's nice.
I don't want that pizza. I saw those brownie cookies you made, brother.
So we're doing a neighborhood cleanup on Saturday. I'm gonna make my espresso chocolate chip cookies for everybody that shows up. I'm gonna probably make like 40 cookies, but it's gonna shake the house. I haven't told anybody yet. I'm gonna make a video maybe tomorrow about it, but we're doing a cleanup in Bristol. In Bloomsdale, in my neighborhood. I'm not from that area, but that's my farm. So we're going to clean up all the trash. I'm not going to be dressed like this, but we're going to be looking good.
Listen, I come out for the cookies, bro.
For real. All right, so let's keep rocking and rolling. Where we at with it?
All right, this is where I'm at.
All right, lay it on me.
We're going to role play. You ready? All right. You're Javier at Home Depot, and I am your classic white bread couple walking in, wanted to buy some nice new kitchen cabinets.
Okay, wait, I want to pause you right quick. So my role at Home Depot was 2 roles. The first role that I had was that when I seen you in Home Depot, I'm walking around and I'm going to my job is to get you to sign up for a free in-home estimate and measurement.
Okay.
That's my job, and I get paid $50 for each person that I sign up for an estimate and measurement, right? But the way I did it is I found out what you needed help with. I helped you, and then I had you sign up. But I graduated after I had 4 Home Depots of doing this. Then I was the guy that went out to the house. So I never sold the cabinets inside. We worked with what was it? Something remodelers. It was a third party. It was a third party that they actually sent out. So it was more or less of an arm of Home Depot. So I just wanted to specify. But if you wanted to role play, we can still do that.
I want to stay. I want to hear the spiel. I want to hear like what you're learning there. So I knock. I'm gonna say, excuse me, sir. I'm looking for some nice, beautiful wood cabinets for my 1980s grandma special.
Okay. So that'd be great. So the first thing I would do, and this is really simple, is I would say, that sounds amazing. Let me take you over right here to our refacing product and explain to you how well priced this product is comparable to a brand new kitchen remodel, right? And you're going to look at those prices, and I'm going to offer you a free in-home estimate and measurement to look at both options.
So you're going to come to my house?
I'm going to come to your house, and I'm going to bring you some like cabinet doors. I had a whole little swag bag of all these cabinet doors. Okay, I'll bring them into your house, and then I sit down at your kitchen table. But first, I ask, where is your chair? This is where I learned the power chair, right? I understood this early in the game. And then I will walk around the kitchen. You would tell me all the bells and whistles that you're looking for. I would measure. After I'm done measuring, we will go over the price. I will give you the refacing price, and I will give you the brand new kitchen cabinet price. Most of the time, you're going to go with the refacing product. Why? Because why not? I mean, think about it. You're just getting new doors and you're refacing it. It's simple. But before you made a decision, I will go out to the front porch. I will sit there, and I will say, you know what? You guys take a moment, think about it. I'm going to stand out front. While you think about it, give me a wave and let me know. So that's what I was taught as a porch light close, where I step outside, give you a chance. Because again, I'm giving you a lot of information because the kitchen remodel wasn't cheap. I mean, the brand new kitchen remodel was like 20 grand, maybe 25 grand. The refacing is like 16 grand.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're talking a big difference, right? I mean, it is when you're looking at dollars and cents, but not like in the grand scheme. And when you said yes, here's why I got out of the business as the salesperson. When you said yes, I get paid before the installation. So if you said yes, I go back to my office, I give them my yes, put the order in, I get my 20% of that 16,000. So I'm feeling good. I got my Acura outside with the subwoofers in it. You know what I mean? Sucking down oil. It's great. I'm living life, but in 2 weeks, if you cancel, right? You can cancel within 2 weeks. When you cancel, I got to pay the money back. And I was young. I was like 21, you know what I mean? 22. I done blew the money once I got it. And now I'm negative for my next deal. So I got to get back to zero. So I fought to zero enough times where I said, this is not even going to be what I want. So I ended up getting out of it.
Got it. And then from there, you're gaining confidence in your delivery and learning how to close.
Correct. And then I started selling paper with WB Mason in the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, not that, bro.
Yo, word. I used to go, this is where I dubbed, and this is where I learned how to deal with the gatekeepers, right? We used to literally go door to door at offices. Like we go in, we want to find out who's your paper provider. You give me some nonsense story. I offer you some cookies or something cool with the tree. and then we get it. But then I realized I'm not selling the paper or the cookies. I'm selling myself in a very professional manner. And I started to get good at it. I worked there for like 4 weeks. We had like some crazy, you get to travel all across the country and do this same thing. And I was still early in my relationship that wasn't going to happen. My girlfriend at the time, my wife now, was like, nah, you're not going to go to Virginia for 3 weeks and sell paper because, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was a great idea. I'm like, oh, this is phenomenal. I love this job. But she looked at me like, yeah, all right, we ain't going to do that. So find a new job. And then I start selling cars. And that's what did it, Chad. That's what did it. I started selling cars, and it was takeoff time. It was takeoff time. Chad, I'm telling you, man, car selling was, and I was still like in real car sales. None of that weak shit that we see today. I'm sorry if any car sales people was on this call watching this. but y'all don't remember the up system. You don't remember getting out on the lot and be getting ready to fist fight with a colleague for a deal. You know what I'm saying? The car business was right.
What were you selling?
Yeah. I was selling Hyundais.
Okay.
Hyundai like Sunday, baby.
The best warranty in the business.
Hey, the biggest steel producer in the world.
Yeah.
Like when I realized Hyundai sells steel to all the other manufacturers, I was sold. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the plug. So why are they not the best? So right now they're definitely sitting pretty with the Genesis and all that beautiful stuff.
That's cool, man. So do you develop your love for sales at that point, do you think?
No, my love for sales was in the 6th grade. I used to sell gel pens, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's my first sale, man.
So you know that whole thing, sell me this pen. You know that whole
Bro,
that
listen, when I tell you sales has been in me since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember the girl's name who told on me that I was selling gel pens just because I didn't have her color. I remember that. I don't want to say her name because we on Facebook Live. She might try to step back in my life and tell me I'm whatever. So yeah, listen, I remember, man.
The one thing I'll say about different professions in the sales business, like, you know, we've seen a huge evolution, I think, over the past decade of sales. Back in the day was hokey pokey. It didn't have that professional, sexy, gritty, hustle, grind, like that kind of feel. And I feel like it's changed a lot because people have found a way to make it fun, make a good living, and make it into a real profession. You know, and that's where you and I both are in the similar game because we're salespeople. We are true blue, tried and true, passionate salespeople, right? Yeah. But I think what we both found is that when you're passionate about it and you're not actually pushing them on something, you're giving them something of value. You're not selling them at all.
That's called the God level right there, Chad.
Yeah.
You ever seen Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Well, you never seen Dragon Ball Z? Come on, Chad. Come on. Yo, somebody put an emoji in the chat. Something that's an angry emoji. Somebody give him an angry emoji right now. He never seen Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is one of the most inspirational TV series of all time. Top 5. Let me just not top 5. Oh yeah, top 5. Top 5.
Really?
Goku. So that's where I was gonna go. I was gonna go to the Ultra Instinct because that's where we are, right?
Yeah.
The inspiration. Come on, the guy got his ass whipped, and then he decided, bro. We as salespeople and understanding as entrepreneurs, okay, to be an entrepreneur requires such grit. It requires you not to just be great in private, but great in public, but great in private. Right? You gotta really, really, really believe not just in yourself. But you got to believe that those crazy ass thoughts that you have in your mind is going to come true. I started the New Age Handbook, my wife and I, with a 34-page PDF. 34-page PDF. She thought I was crazy. What is this? 34 pages. We're a couple agents strong, and we train with brokerages at a high level on a regular basis. And this is only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So again, entrepreneurship is like the true. I just posted something on my Facebook about the movie Hook when Robin Williams was.
I saw it.
Voice. Yo, that was one of the moments in my life where it really resonated with me that your imagination needs to be tip top shape to be an entrepreneur. Because
you did want to try and taste that stuff.
Yo, I tasted it. That's how crazy my imagination is. I was like, this is good. I said, banger, man. You know what I mean? I was right there with him, Chad. I'm trying to tell you, man. This is.
But I love that. I think that's one of the most authentic things I've heard in a while. Is what you have to have such a strong belief that those crazy ideas are going to come true. Dude, that's so true, man.
Bro, listen, you got to realize growing up where I'm growing up from, I've seen death close up, Chad. I'm trying to tell you, I've seen, friends of mine pass away. I still carry the obituaries of my closest friends in my bag. You feel what I'm saying? This is how deeply rooted understanding that for me, I didn't think being 17 was possible.
Yeah.
You gotta understand. So you got to realize that for me, this time in my life, right where I'm in now, by the time I turned like 25, I was living like in a different mindset. Why? Because everything from this point forward is gravy. it's gravy. Why?
Well,
Because
see what I just did. I finally got you to back right into it, which is we found the reason for the conviction, right? Yeah. The reason you have that conviction.
Pain.
It's not just that. It's the strength of the belief that those crazy thoughts would come true is what kept you alive and out of that shit.
Word up, for real.
You know,
that's the real deal.
And that right there is why you are who you are, and that's our superstar moment right there, my friend.
Bingo.
That's our
superstar moment. That's our right. Goku with some Super Saiyan villain, some Super Saiyan attitude in here, and we tying it back, Chad. I'm telling you, man, you digging deep tonight. I love it because literally, man, this is who I am through in and throughout. I don't apologize. Life is short. This shit could be over. It could be over tomorrow. There's people that woke up this morning, Chad, just like me and you, and they didn't make it. They didn't make it. It's over for them. We don't know how. We don't know why. We don't have no answers. All we know is we're still here having this conversation within our homes, and we got some fresh water and steps away from where we are. You know what I mean? Like when you have that kind of awareness, everything else is gravy. Why?
Yeah.
Because
but tapping into that is powerful. You want to know the truth, Javier? Yes. It's one thing to read it and hear it and listen, but to actually believe it, it's a whole nother level.
Gotta have the right people around you too, man. That's something that really I understood growing up. You know, some people who will look up at a skyscraper and say, "Hey, I would love to buy that," and then that person next to you be like, "Man, what you talking about? You trying to go to work?" You know what I mean? Like here's one fun fact about me that I didn't go into. On Route 1, there are very few businesses that I haven't worked on Route 1 as a kid, like Burger King, Mickey D's, BJ's, Walmart. I mean, you name it, I worked in some capacity. So I was always a person who was not settling for what was around me as much as I grew up. We started to realize that, there's more to the story. You feel me? So,
well, so let's get to the sexy stuff. So let's talk to me about the new agent. I'm going to skip, traditionally we'll get into the real estate and what you sell and your farms and blah, 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 blah. Gotcha. I'm more interested today than about the new agent handbook. So I want to hear all about this. So are you found this? This is your baby?
Yes. Me and my wife. My wife is my partner, and she is my editor-in-chief. She's the biggest criticizer that we have. And her office is where I take ideas to get, chopped up and murdered. Our office is right next door to mine. So whenever I have a good idea, I bring it in there. And if it makes it out, it's good. If it doesn't, we find something new. For real. So that's the dynamic.
Talk to me about the beginning of this idea, what it is, what's the goals, what are the intentions? Give me the whole thing.
This is you want to get the whole enchilada.
Yeah.
You came here for the taco supreme. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Let's go into it. So that's why I'm wearing my Gino shirt.
I got you. Gino Steaks. Hey, shout out to Curly's Creations, the best cheesesteak known to man.
Where's this?
Curly's Creations, man, is right down the street, right there on it's the best cheese. They just won a championship in 2023.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, best cheesesteak, man. The best cheesesteak is Curly's Creations. Right here in Levittown, man. Come on down, and we can go together and record a video if you want to. It's near my house. I can literally throw a rock and probably hit the side of the building.
All right. Game on. Challenge accepted.
Y'all heard it. Hey, y'all heard it. So we're going to hold his ass accountable. All right, so new agent handbook. I got in the industry 2017. I'm fresh off of car sales. I was in car sales for 7 years. And 5 of those years, I was number 1. I was doing really well, 6-figure income, but I felt lost in the sense that I didn't have any of that dog in me, right? My whole identity is just passion, straight flamethrower action, and being the top of my game in the car business. I had an option. Either I can be an owner of a dealership, which, I didn't have that upbringing to have that kind of cashola yet, or I could become a manager. I did a manager for a little while, but I was really young. No one really took on to my ideas. So I realized that I got to make a choice. So my wife and I bought a house when we bought our property in 2017, 2016-ish. We bought a home. Our agent was okay. But me being an aggressive salesperson, I felt like I could do a 10 times better job. So I said, F it. Let's go into real estate. I wanted to be small again, because when I'm small, When I'm small, that's when I'm the most dangerous. Why? Because I got so much growth ahead of me, right? And I'm going to grind out. So I went into real estate. I became small, all right? And then I realized instantaneously that the broker model was flawed.
Mm-hmm.
It was flawed. Once I realized it was flawed, and when I say flawed is that when I get in, it's parades, it's ice cream, it's fun, it's pizza. You're gonna be the best of the best of the best, and here's her, here's him. We're gonna be your team, and then you're like, oh my God, my life is gonna change. And then like 2 months later, it's like, who are you again? Like, what are you doing? Right. So I created a group called the New Agent Talk within their workplace, and I wanted to meet other agents who felt the same way. And I wanted to meet them for a reason, because I was going to take the things that I learned in car sales and I was going to utilize them in real estate. The phone call is one of those most important pieces that I take advantage of, getting on, cold calling, which I call warm calling now, but also the door knocking. Now, in car sales, you don't door knock, but I realized that most agents don't door knock. So I started to door knock, right? And then we started to dive deep into the HUDhomestore.com. So I started to uncover all of these spaces that every single one of these agents in this group had no idea existed. I'm like, what is going on? But then I realized, oh, absolutely. But then I caught on to something that was becoming a trend. Is every Friday we would have a masterclass. I would go on my Zoom, and it was in this room, and we're going to Zoom, and not this. It wasn't this room. Yeah, no, it was like, I think it was in this room. We've been here since 18. So let's just call it this room. Okay. This room did not look like this. I was on boxes. Nothing was behind me. It was crazy. But it was okay, because it was there just to help and to train and to understand. So we get this group, we grow it to 6,000 people. Okay.
6,000.
6,000 people. Yeah. Within that New Agent Talk group. And during the growth, I hit accolades. I hit 20 units my first year, second year, 19 units. The third year was 2019. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, third year. Well, third year was 2020, because 2017 I came in May, so I finished the year like halfway in. So 2018 was my first year. 2019 second year. 2020 is when COVID happened. So once COVID hit, I realized that I have this big, large group of agents who attend my master classes. They love what I'm doing. Why don't I try to monetize?
What are you doing? What are you doing in there? Like, give me like the rundown. What are you spitting?
We spitting that fire, man.
But give me like a generalization.
All right, generalization. Listen, here's what we're doing. All right, first topic we're going into. I don't know our first topic, but I have them all saved in my USB. But we will go over the HUD Home Store, literally talk about how to navigate the website, how to utilize the properties to promote on social media, how to go into those homes and make content. Why? Because I didn't have to ask permission for the listing agent. How to take those homes and find other homes in the community that are going to be HUD homes and get that understanding of the market. And then we went into RPR. I fell in love with RPR early. I'm a now certified trainer. Shout out to RPR. I fell in love with that. But going into the processes, open houses, we have a killer open house strategy. I'm talking like down to the micro, down to I'm talking Monday to Sunday type. Every day we got a task that you're going to do to build up to that open house. All right. So this is what I'm going into every single Friday. And I'm also hearing from agents and what they want to talk about. And now we're finding out that we're started off with 2 or 3 people on the Zoom. And then we got up to 40 people on the Zoom. Then we got 50 people on the Zoom. And then now we started to be like, it becomes a ritual where everybody shows up. Like, we need this now. And it starts to become more and more and more. And then my wife looks at me and was like, you are a charity. You are a charity. You're not making no money from all this information you're providing. And I'm like, babe, I love it. I love helping out agents, right? So that's when I was like, you know what? Let me put all of this onto a paper, because here's another fun fact. Another fun fact about me. Any training that I've ever done, and it's a fun fact, but it's a weird fact, is that I don't practice and I don't have notes. Okay, I don't practice and I don't have notes. So this is something that for me, I feel I don't need to practice and I don't need notes, because I'm giving it to you like this is raw and uncut. Like, I'm giving it to you how I know it. Right. But what I realized, and what she helped me realize, is that I need to start writing this shit down. So when I started to do that, that's when the book was created.
Got it. So it's a collection of your teachings And the teachings are very, very detail oriented in how you can actually navigate the waters of being an agent.
Correct.
And they're proven in a sense that if you're coming in from day one and don't have any experience, you could pick up your training and start to build a legit real estate career.
Correct. And I was doing it in my own time, showing you videos of me door knocking in the whole 9 yards. And you can go on my Facebook and scroll back and see those. I posted some cringy videos already. I reposted them. But yep. So I did it. And once I started to see the monetization speed up a little bit, then I realized that once I got into the association a little bit more heavily, I got on the board of directors for the state and local association. And then I realized the training circuit was lacking an aggressive trainer like myself. So I stepped up into that professionalism, high octane, super. I know what I'm talking about. I follow all the rules. I'm reading contracts for breakfast. I'm doing this because now my goal and our goal as the New Agent Handbook is to raise the professional bar, to make sure that we are putting to the test every single person that is in front of every single realtor, giving them information. Why? Because we've been lied to. We've been coerced way too long. If we didn't have these problems, we wouldn't be here where we are today. That Burnett trial case would not be where it is today if brokers who stockpiled agents would do their jobs and focus on the 90% and not the 10%. And since I'm a great salesperson and it doesn't fulfill me to say, hey, I'm number one, I'm the best sales guy, I sold the most homes in the world, I don't get off on that anymore. In the beginning, I did. I was like, I want to be number one. I got trophies, all over here. I don't go over and brag and boast because I don't need that. That doesn't fulfill me anymore. What fulfills me is being able to take that agent that's suffering in silence, that has been duped, that don't have the abilities that I have, and providing them those abilities. So now they're going to look onto their broker and look onto their surroundings and question it, ask questions. Why haven't I gotten this chat GPT training? Why haven't I learned about RPR, demographic, psychographic, all of this data? Why haven't I had a linguistic trainer come in here and teach me how to ask for the commission on the buyer side? Why? Now, the answers are going to be very difficult to hear because it's accountability. Hold yourself accountable, number one. But also, these brokers are agents.
Well, I was going to ask you, is this being welcomed by most brokerages?
I have removed myself from claiming in the title of being a disruptor, and I have aligned myself with building that loyalty from agent to broker. So I'm not in the business to remove you from your broker. I'm in the business of rectifying that relationship and showing you how to optimize what you already have. So yes, in the beginning, I did not get any callbacks from brokers so I could come in and ruffle the cages of their agents. No, I'm serious, man, because I'm a lot. And I realized I had to change my angle because I'm pissed. I'm pissed that so many agents have been duped. They've been duped, man. And to me, I'm just like, all right, game on. Let's put it to the test. So that's why New Agent Handbook is the number one, the fastest growing, the best quality, the most disruptive training company for new agents. And if you have another one that's just as good, let's go ahead and put it to the test.
I like that. I dig it. So what's the goal? Is the goal local expansion and then nationwide? What's the goal?
We're already nationwide. We have about, like I said, 300 agents nationwide within a lot of different brokerages, a lot of different states, a lot of it on the East Coast, but we do have some in the middle and on the West side as well. The goal here is to continue moving through my association, continue going into more accolades as far as my titles. And also, once I get to a certain position or I get the ear of somebody that wants to make the change, is my ultimate goal is to raise the limit, raise the barrier to entry for real estate agents across the country. We want to increase it from 75 hours in Pennsylvania to 125 hours. And we also want to make a mandate for unbiased, you want to have your unbiased, your unconscious biased, I think it's unconscious bias training, your at home with diversity training, and also linguistic training. Okay, these things are not going to be welcomed by all, but that doesn't matter because not everybody is at our state meetings or our national meetings. So the people who are at those meetings, those who are attending, they know this is necessary, and we've been hanging with this low barrier to entry too long in our industry, and it's time for realtors, I'm speaking to realtors, to step this up. We have to showcase our professionalism and why we're value and why we're valuable in our communities, because we're under attack, right? We got the co-stars, we got the Amazons of the world coming in, and they want to take away what we're doing. They want to remove the agent, remove the association, and they want this to be a portal-based system. Yep. And if we continue going down the road we're going, that's where we're headed. But not on my watch. That's the way I put it. It's not going to happen with just me. I'm just a voice. I'm just one person. But as I start to meet more agents and give and give and give in such a charged way, we will get it done.
That's dope, dude. No, it's good. It's definitely something of value. I think it's something. Now, I'm going to imagine that not everyone in your program is a new agent.
No. I've been told to remove the new agent in my title because a lot of our agents are not new. They're within that $1.5 to $3 million production range, and they've been in the game for somewhere close to 10 years. But
sounds like a superstar agent.
It is but most agents. But think about it though. Here's a fun fact that most people don't talk about. Most agents have their first year over year. Like your first year, you don't even realize that you've been living your first year for 5 years.
Yeah.
So the new agent handbook will remain.
Nah, dude. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense when you put it that way. It's definitely an interesting take, an interesting perspective, and I'm glad to see. I know that you did a training over at my friend Mark Gatta and Volkan Andich's place, Opus Elite. They love it. And I know you get brought on by all kinds of groups to talk about different topics in the agent, I guess, arena or sphere for things they can do to help grow their businesses. So that all makes sense to me. It really does. And, it's funny. People that are outside of our industry don't understand that struggle. They really don't, because I will tell you something. You watch television shows like $1 Million Listings and all this other crazy crap, and you just imagine that's it. You're going to sell your $10 million home and everything's going to be peachy clean. And, I can be a D-bag and drive a fancy car and blah, 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 blah. And the majority don't get that. And it is a struggle for a lot of agents, and it's a struggle because it's a very you do a lot one-on-one. A lot of it is silo, and it's hard to. The most common question that I would say, and this is funny, and I guarantee you hear it. So when you ask people what do they do, I sell real estate. What area do you cover? I cover the whole region. Well, how the hell do you cover the whole damn region?
I cover the whole state. I sell the whole state, the whole country. I sell whatever you want, I do it. And that's true, man. That's a true thing. And that's just a knee jerk right there. But it's the culture, right? Yeah. And for me, it's like, okay, we're in this position. We're here. They let us get these accolades because we play chess. We're going to continuously play chess. We have a lot of people that we're working with on the back channel, some of which are public known, others are very private. But my goal is to continuously push. We have what will look like as a fire in the C-suite for our National Association of Realtors. And what we're seeing here on our state and local level is just complete strength. I mean, PAR is as strong as it's ever been, and BCAR, of course, is the gold standard when it comes to associations. So the way I see it is I'm amongst people that want the same thing as I do. Yeah. I'm bringing that diversity, but I'm also bringing a no BS approach. Because for me, as you have heard from my upbringing, listen, we're prepared for the worst. Yeah. We understand that this is not going to be an easy journey, but we want to make sure that we are bringing forth harder times. Yeah. Why? Because if you're taking this real estate industry and thinking it's just a job or it's something that's super easy and simple, you're missing the whole purpose of being a realtor. You're missing the purpose of who we are. So we have to make things more difficult. Why? Because it now brings in that professionalism and that seriousness. Because if agents that are watching this, if you can't go into a conversation and explain what your contracts are for, what they do, and where things are, some agents who are maybe watching this right now don't even know, especially in Pennsylvania, that you have consumer guides for your contracts that places the entire contract into layman's terms so your client can understand it better, right? That small little bit is the reason why we go so hard, is because we're going to continuously raise that standard every single training that we do. And if you're a broker watching this, contact me, let me know. I will not scare your agents away, but I also will hold your whole entire office accountable. And that's why I love Mark and Volcon and everybody who I do business with. Elite Level Realty, Realty One, right? These companies that we do business with, we hold them accountable in front of their agents, not in an aggressive way, but we want to make sure that everybody in here is in full control of their success. Yeah. Right? No one in here is going to sit back and then take a free lunch. No, you got to step it up. Yeah. You got to continuously be placing your agents in front of high learning trainers that also practice what they preach.
And you wanted to, and Javier, I'm going to step in,
please,
and I'm gonna add one more to this, because I'm what I call a down level. I'm a partner provider. I'm a paraprofessional, if you will.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I think it's the same boat for when you choose a lending partner, right?
Correct.
That person better bring a certain level of professionalism and be an extension of you in every aspect, and stop focusing on the leads they're giving you or not giving you, because lenders don't get leads. All right. We don't get leads. We get you. Everyone thinks I read these forums all the time. What do you want in a lender? I want leads. We don't get leads, right? They go to the
Where the leads at, Chad? Where the leads at?
Yeah. Like they go to the damn realtor first. They don't go to me. Yeah. Like some lender I know posted up what do you call it? One of those stupid pictogram thingies the other day. And she's like, step 1, go to a local loan officer and get approved. Step 2, find a realtor. Who the hell goes to the loan officer first? No one goes to the loan officer first. No one. So my whole point is, stop with that bull crap and find people that are going to deliver a certain level of service, are going to hold themselves accountable, are going to tell you when there's something wrong, and they're going to be damn sure to hit those goals every single time. That is what I do. It's what I've done since I've gotten here, and I am scared to death to meet the deadline, because you know what? If you're giving me your lifeline and you're giving me a referral, I damn sure better close that. I damn sure better close that.
I love hearing it, man.
So that accountability has got to stem down to the people that you're choosing to work with. I don't care if it's me or whoever it is, and they better be on top. The 5-minute follow-up when you give them a lead, you better know where that file is at the whole time. They better hit their deadlines. And if there's a problem, they better let you know.
There you go. And that right there is something that everyone needs to hear, especially from you in particular, because you're everywhere, man. And agents need to understand that when they choose a lender, because again, just like choosing a broker, a lot of times it's a knee jerk, and you're thinking that, hey, all lenders are cut the same, or hey, I'm gonna just go to this lender because it sounds good. But it's all about that actual action that comes along with it. So, man, listen, I truly appreciate not only for you allowing me to pull up on the show here, but you to let people know how it really is. And we have to get better at conveying our value, like what makes us different, right? What makes us different? What makes us special? And for me, it's like, man, we got to do it, and we're going to do it. Chad, listen, man, next time we talk, or next time in a year from now, this is our 2024 year. For us, it's historical for us. We got a lot in store. We got a lot to go on.
Very
for
cool.
me, the sky's the limit, man. I mean, they don't let me sit on the board. They don't let me chair a committee. They don't let me all kinds of you know what? It's a blessing. I've earned it. But most importantly, I'm going to continuously climb that ladder and making sure that we're changing and making things harder.
Yeah, Javier, not bad for a wild boy from Trenton.
You know what? It came a long way, but we got a lot more to go. We got a lot more to go, Chad.
Listen, you're very intelligent. You really put yourself into a really good position. And at the end of the day, if everyone listens to your story, the struggles that you might see at the professional level pale in comparison to the ones you started out in life with.
Correct.
So, much love. How do people get a hold of you, Javi?
Hey, man, go to newagenthandbook.com. Go to newagenthandbook.com. My number, my email address is right there. I'm the same in person as I am online, whatever, right? So call me, text me, let me know, subscribe to our New Agent Handbook, jump on in, take full advantage of what we have to offer. Remember, the show goes on. I'm so passionate at what I do. I don't care if I got one person pulling up to a training. I'm going to deliver the best training I ever had, period. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So take advantage of what we have. And just like we always like to say, assume nothing, verify everything.
Love it. Well, it was a pleasure and a privilege, my friend.
Thank you, man.
I apologize for the technical difficulties.
Come on, man. You showed your grit. What you talking about? That's it. I'm the man, and I'm going to keep this show on the road. And that's what you did, man. Listen, for you to get up here and do 1 hour of a podcast, okay, and for your co-host to do it as well, and for him to be, I'm sure he's still on here checking out the back end, right?
Better be.
This is extremely important, man, because again, no matter what, number one, you're providing a space for people to tell their story. Yeah. Number two, you're providing the opportunity for them to now take it and repurpose it and use it in the content, because you were like the reels that you have coming after this.
Yeah.
But number three, you're showcasing why they should be not only giving you an opportunity for their deals, but how lenders are supposed to be, right? Yeah. Not just have a podcast, but they're supposed to be curious about that story. What really got you to where you are? Because hearing my story, now you know more than any other. I mean, I have a close lender that I know, Shad Hammond, shout out to my man. But he knows my story.
Shad and I used to be on the same team at Loan Depot.
Word. Okay, so you know Shad, that's my man. You mean him? So we used to actually lick envelopes right in my living room and fold them up and throw them into the
I'm gonna bring your world in full circle.
Yo, what's up?
Jason, the producer on this podcast, his wife Nikki is also on that team.
Whoa! Okay, damn. So y'all tied. So, and this is why I love the industry, because everybody who is truly here to help, no matter what title or what company you're with, you're always finding yourself in that position. And I'm telling you, man, you're doing a phenomenal job. I thank you. And that panel y'all had a couple weeks back was just terrific, man. I want to continue this, man. Let me know whatever I can be a part of. Anything y'all doing, you call me, let me know, and I'm there, man. I'm bringing the heat,
man. And you keep baking those cookies, all right?
I do a lot more than bake cookies, Chad. It go out in the kitchen, man. You see that chicken parm I did the other day?
Oh yeah.
Let's see. The trick is you got to mix the grapeseed oil with the olive oil. A lot of people do the olive oil. They just do the olive oil and butter, but you got to do the butter, olive oil, and grapeseed oil. Why? That crispy, man. That bite. When you bite into that chicken parm. Listen.
My man Javier Nichols. He's got all kinds of good stuff. And for those of you who have made it this far in the show, God bless you. I always say that you make it all the way to the hour. But some people can't get away from it. I'm not going to say they can't. But tune in next week. We got a big shot, Brian Gunn from the Gun Group, coming out. He's going to bring some fire. He's going to bring that. Dude, he's got legit guns, this guy. I'm not going to lie. He does. He's got guns. And for everyone out there, thanks for watching another edition of Superstars Podcast. Tune in to the replay at superstarspodcast.com. Subscribe on YouTube. And as always, LFGO, we will see you soon. Have a good night. Peace.
I love that.